Alright, so thank you very much for having me today. My name is Samir Salam. I am from Imam Jafar Al-Asadi University here in Baghdad. And today I'm going to share with you my journey in Malaysia. I spent quite a while, some time in Malaysia. I did my master degree and my PhD both in Malaysia. So I spent totally about 3 years in Malaysia. So Dr. Fatma, you are always free to ask me any questions that comes to your mind, and any of the audience maybe who will join us later on are welcome to ask me any question.
Thank you, Dr. Samir, and we'd like to welcome you here on behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Directorate of Scholarships and Cultural Relations, and we are happy that you are the first speaker from the University of Imam Sadiq. Hopefully in the future we'll have more cooperation with this university, because from my meetings with the staff there, I have come across many wonderful and great figures and characters. So we're happy that you are the first one. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Alright, so in my slides I put around 20 slides. I try to address a few things from the culture to the politics to the maybe about the tourist destination and my experience there. So I will go start with I will try to start by the communities. The community in Malaysia. Malaysia generally have 3 different ethnic groups. You know, the first, the biggest one are the Malay. They are the people. The Malay people are the original people of Malaysia. They have been living there since the beginning. Since the beginning of time. Then you have the Chinese and the Indians. So this image you see here represents the Malaysian people. All of them, they are, when you ask them, when you talk with them, they will identify themselves as Malaysian people. Even though that the Indians and Chinese came to Malaysia in the 18th century, 19th century. So they've not been there for quite a long time. And when you talk to the Malaysian, by Malaysians I mean the Malay people, which are the original people of the country, they will not look to them as people. They will look them as a guest. They don't see them as people, original people of the country. You know what I'm saying? So and that's have thrown so much conflict. Maybe not that much conflict, but had thrown some conflict back in 1950.
Okay, before proceeding, I have a question here.
Yeah.
So concerning the Malay people and the other ethnicities, is it the same case just like in Australia and the United States when we have the native people?
Yeah.
They were second level in society or something like that,
Yeah.
or is it the reverse in Malaysia?
There is a native people beside the Malay.
Okay.
Okay, so they are like very few. They are living in the jungle. They still living a very they still making fire by their hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they still live in the jungle. They have very weird, the way we see it, very weird kind of living.
Okay.
They're very strange. I might be coming to this point later on. All right, so the Malay will be having if you go to the Ministry of Higher Education, if you go to the Ministry of Foreign
Affairs.
Foreign Affairs, yeah.
Yes.
So you will find them all this position are taken by the Malay people, right? So while when you go to the companies, industries, then you're gonna find the Chinese. The Chinese are all in business. But but Indians, they all distributed here and there. You might find some Indian people on the airport, for example, like security people, for example. But you would never, in my experience, you would never find any Chinese people, and having a governmental kind of positions. Like security, like police, any kind of these offices. Yeah, and there's a lot of history behind that. I'm not sure if we're gonna have time to step into that. All right, so about Malaysian people, I have another 20 slides, but let me step into that. So the Malaysian people, generally speaking, are all of them are friendly. They are very friendly. They're very polite. It's very easy to start a conversation with them. That's on one side, But on the other side, from my experience, from my personal experience, which will be different from other people's perspectives, it's very difficult for me to make friends with them. Even they are friendly, they are polite, but it's very difficult to make friends with them. I mean, I usually have we have discussions, we eat together, we drink together, we laugh together, and the next day he just walked by and I don't know why. This is like different. Yeah, he walked by without saying anything. So in our culture, the way we see it, if you have friends, even if you know someone from just one conversation,
right,
he is obligated to say hi every time.
Yes.
Right? That's our culture. In their culture now, this is a different thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's always bothering me.
Yeah.
I always try to fight it, but I'm not sure I did. Make any progress with it because this is their culture. This is the way. This is their mindset. Okay, so this is for the first line. Okay, so this is my University Malaya. You see the name up on the left.
Looks great, yeah.
Yeah, this is University Malaya. This is written in Malay, Bahasa Malay. Bahasa Malay is their language. I might step into that later on.
You have to share the slides, Dr. Samir.
We can't see the third part.
Yes. Hold on, 1 minute. So what is the meeting? It's here. And now I can go here.
I don't know if you are hearing me now.
Yeah.
We can't see the entire slide.
Here. Now you can see it, right?
That's good.
Okay, so here you see my university from 3 different images. This is the gate I used to go through it every day.
Wow.
Yeah, this is our
How fun.
Yeah.
But I see just cars. What about the passengers? Passerbys.
It's very rare to see people walking through the gate.
Oh,
Yeah, because
really?
everyone have cars, and as well there is like
So
bus.
you do?
Huh?
You do? You do have a car there?
No.
No?
But I had some time. I had certain time that I took, like I rented a car
Okay.
throughout Malaysia. So it's like once or twice I go into the university by driving.
God.
Even though that I lived there for 3 years,
So you use cars or bikes most of the time?
No,
Do you
no,
use
no
bike?
bikes. I didn't try
No?
bikes because Malaysia is very, the weather is very
Humid,
The
right?
humidity is very high.
Yes.
The humidity is very
Hold on,
high.
let me see. He's there. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
So you see the upper right hand is the Chancellery building, which is when President Obama, President of the United States, when he came to Malaysia, he visited UN, the University of Malaya, and he stayed in this Chancellery building. And then this the picture in the image in the bottom is the UN Medical Center. University of Malaya have a very big university, a very big medical center. They have their own research, their own hospital. They do a very good job there. I haven't been there. I might be there only one time.
Just once.
Just once, yeah. But they have like very big infrastructure and many big things there, All right, so. Okay, so. Next slide. Okay, so this is my lab in University of Malaya. I spend most of my time in my PhD in this lab. We do experiments on laser. So this is the lab we have. You should know that even if you look down to it, we have a lot of infrastructure there. There's a lot of funding coming there. We do invest on the equipment a lot. We do invest. We have a lot around 10 PhD students
Wow.
at the time. Yeah, we have a lot of. We do publications all the time.
And many cables. I get
Yes.
nervous when I see cables.
Yes, but it's not just not ordinary cable. They are optical fiber
Oh my.
kind of cables, Yeah, so we do most of the cable. By the way, the devices you see here, They are not in the image, I think, but they are used to be very expensive prices.
I see.
Yeah, especially the one. I think the one is not shown in the picture, unfortunately, but there we have a device called autocorrector. It's very expensive. Yeah, because it's something you have to do with laser. I don't want to get there because if I step into
Okay.
it, I won't stop.
You will not stop. Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, this is nice.
all the images you see here is taken by myself,
Wow.
except for the first one when
Okay.
I saw you with the Malaysian people.
Uh-huh.
I took this from the internet, but all of them are taken by me. So this picture I took myself about Kuala Lumpur. I love Kuala Lumpur a lot.
It's gorgeous.
Yes,
Were
this
you
is-
up on a mountain or a high
this is-
building?
No, this is there is two high buildings in Kuala Lumpur. The first one is KL Menara.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have it here. And the other one is the KLCC. You see this one, the
Yeah,
Twin Tower.
uh-huh.
The Twin Tower is the iconic thing of Kuala Lumpur,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm here on the KL Menara. KL Menara is like a very huge tower,
Oh.
the same one we have in Baghdad, you know?
In Al Jazeera, you mean?
No, I mean, you know, the Baghdad Tower.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the concept is the
Same
same
thing?
here, but it's very high.
Okay.
Very, very high. See, so this was 2019, December 31st. So
Oh.
it was the last day of 2019.
Okay.
So it was like minutes before New Year.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so we
So
celebrate.
they have a celebration, a big celebration?
Yeah. There is a lot of fireworks and a lot of people
Nice.
like but it's not. It's good, it's nice, but it's not the best. This
Okay.
was very nice. We enjoyed a lot. So I was with my family on the top, on the deck, you know, and we see all the fireworks. So back to the Kuala Lumpur. I love Kuala Lumpur a lot. There's a lot of skyscrapers. You can find them everywhere, and I love the city most at the night. You know, at night it's like different experience.
It's different, yeah.
You know, because the lights and the nights and everything mixed up, especially at this area. You see, so this area is we call this area KLCC, as I mentioned, with Twin Tower. So if you ever go to Malaysia and you want to take a taxi driver, don't tell him I want to go to Twin Tower.
Why is that?
Yeah, because you will know that you are a tourist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just tell him I want to go to KLCC.
Oh, okay.
Then you are a professional straight away.
All right.
So he will not like play around and ask for extra charge. Even that's a rare thing, but you will be seen as a professional tourist.
Good to know.
So yes, this is KLCC, and I have been there too. Even though I stayed there for 3 years, I went to KLCC only once.
Only once.
Yeah, we go up to the 18th floor, you know.
Wow.
And I mean, if you ever go to KLCC to Malaysia, you should go to KLCC.
Okay.
It's have a gorgeous view. You know, you're gonna see, and especially at night. To be precise, especially at you know, I don't know what we call that, but when the sun goes out,
Sunrise?
Sunset.
Sunset.
At the sunset, you know.
Okay.
So the sunset, when the sunset goes on, you see a very beautiful view.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is it
because-
crowded at that time?
Yeah, of
when
course.
you're
Yeah,
going?
the booking because you have to book early on. You know?
Oh, okay.
So it's very difficult to get a booking at at 7 p.m., 6 p.m. You know, these times are really
Gotcha.
high, but other times are easier to book. You know, so if you ever go to KLCC, you should go to KLCC you should go to KLCC. Alright, so this street is called Bukit Bintang. This is downtown KLCC, downtown Kuala Lumpur. So what we call it, the Iraqis and the Arabic people there, they will call it Street of Arab.
Oh, okay.
Even the Malaysian, they don't call it that. What we call it. So this is kind of strange thing. No
Because
one
it's
knows
full
why
of Arab?
No, it's full of international people.
Oh, okay.
But you will find certain Arabic restaurants.
Oh, right.
So I still don't get that why they call it Arab Street. There is nothing related to Arab there. No, even there is not any embassy there.
Oh, okay.
We
Maybe
have-
because they gather there a lot?
Yeah, because it's the most beautiful city in there.
Oh, okay.
Because Bukit Bintang is so Bukit Bintang. This area. Okay. So you see this area
Yes.
is the most advanced, beautiful city of Kuala Lumpur. This around it.
Yeah.
So. Wait. this is something near. This place is 15 minutes from KLCC. You know?
Yeah.
So this area is very advanced, very beautiful. You're gonna find a lot of tourists and international people just walking there. You know, seeing the city. This is the most beautiful place of Kuala Lumpur. But if you're gonna compare this to Singapore, I went to Singapore twice. If you want to compare the city center of Kuala Lumpur to Singapore, there is no comparison. Singapore is much more advanced and it's beautiful. You know, you're gonna see a lot of differences there. Even though this is the most beautiful state in Kuala Lumpur,
it's nothing compared to
yes, exactly. Singapore is much more advanced and beautiful. You know, after all, Malaysia is third world. What's it called? What you call third world? I don't know what it's called. Anyway, so
Okay.
yeah. So there is gonna see a lot of differences between these. You know, so. If you are interested in seeing buildings and infrastructure, you should go to Singapore. If you are interested in nature and seeing the, see the nature, so you should go for Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so this is the most thing I like in Malaysia.
Yes.
Yeah, books. I like
For
books.
most of us.
So the thing that I like the most in the malls.
Okay.
I can't say anything. The most beautiful thing that you will find in any mall, in any given mall you will walk into Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, is a bookstores. There is like very big stores and they have very up-to-date, recent kind of.
Is it expensive?
Yes.
Yes.
Not very much expensive.
Because I mean, I'm talking just from the perspective of the United States. It's very expensive.
I think
I'm not sure about the other
I think
countries.
that they are the same prices. you
Same
know?
thing?
Yeah, same prices. But
Unfortunately.
the weird thing is when I came here, even though in Baghdad, I mean, when I want to purchase some original kind of books, then I find the prices are very low.
Here, low.
Yeah, very
Got
low.
it.
So I was very.
Yeah, kind of. Yes, it's very expensive there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why. So, but there is a solution. There is a out of the way solution. There is like some second-hand
Yes.
books. You know, they are very cheap, and you can find a lot of books there. So if you are pro, then you're gonna go to they call it book access, you know, in Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur. They have very cheap. They have very big stores filled with like up-to-date books. All right, so the food. So this is the food that I used to eat every day.
Which is?
We call it nasi ayam goreng. This is the only food that I could eat there. Yes,
It looks like hummus for me.
no, this is rice.
Oh, rice. Okay.
This is chicken.
Chicken.
Like
Looks like nuggets.
Yes, exactly.
And asparagus?
Yeah, there's few of this here and there. Then, by the way, this is not a Malaysian food. This is a Thailand food.
But Thai food is not
No.
yummy.
The Thai food is, from the way I see it, and most of the Iraqis would agree with me. Thai food is very delicious to us in comparison with the Malaysian food. So I cannot say.
How come? I couldn't stand it in the US. I couldn't even smell it.
But
Maybe
there-
it's different?
No, if they say they are Thai, then they are Thai. But what I mean is, if you compare it to the Malaysian food,
Oh.
I wouldn't stand, you know, because they have their opinion. They love it, they like it, but I cannot say it's. I'm personally speaking, I cannot say it's the best food in the world, you know,
Yeah.
because it's kind of oily. I have no
Oh,
one
yeah.
of my Malaysian friends listening to me now. Okay, so it's oily. It's I don't, you know, when we there's sometimes I don't really recall it. So when we eat on our lunch in Iraq, we
Yes.
use fries and some sauces, you know, and we tend to eat a salty kind of food in their lunch, you know.
Yes.
But in Malaysia, they have even if you are in the middle of a lunch and you're eating your salty kind of food, something jumps out and there is sweet.
Ooh.
Yeah, so yeah, it's nice, it's beautiful, but I cannot say I would eat it every day, you know. So I should say, by the way, I love the Malaysians. I learned a lot from them. So I don't want.
Well,
anyone-
it has nothing to do with food.
Yeah, so most of the time when I was living in Kuala Lumpur, I used to eat from the international kind of restaurant, like McDonald's, KFC, and Texas Chicken. Then you have Nando's, these kind of international restaurants, and they are like they are the standards. So if you are visiting there in Malaysia, you don't know where to go, just go to KFC or McDonald's. They are the standard. You're gonna like it.
Okay.
Right. So that's about the food. Okay, so that's an elephant.
Is that you?
No, I wouldn't dare. By the way, I would even though that I said I wouldn't dare, I have an image. Unfortunately, I didn't put here an image with a tiger.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
A real tiger out free in the
it's like
jungle.
an adult kind
Oh
of
my.
tiger. Yeah, but it was not in Malaysia. That's why I didn't put it.
Oh, okay.
It was in Thailand.
Okay.
So this my presentation today is about Malaysia. So we have a journey with my family when they come to visit me. We go around Malaysia and we go to certain places. This one places we went to in Malaysia. So this is the elephant, and they are called the century something elephant. So this like a preserved area when they took care of the elephants. So the nice thing in Malaysia in terms of elephants and how they deal with it, how they treat it, is they would never see. It's very rare in Malaysia, let me say. It's very rare in Malaysia to see some people who ride on the elephants.
Okay.
That's kind of thing they're gonna see in Thailand.
Oh.
Thailand. Yeah,
okay.
in Thailand they will torture them, they will hurt them, and in so many cases you will see the elephants are sad. I have taken a picture with them. They look very sad and tired. They treat them very bad.
Why do they do that? Why do
That's the way it is. In Malaysia they just treat them well and they don't encourage them. And even the people, when you talk with them about the elephants, they will say we don't encourage people to ride on them. Even though there is a place in Malacca where you can't ride an elephant, but it's not very encouraged. There is only 2 elephants that I ever see in Malaysia who use them to ride.
Okay.
But in Thailand, when I walk to in certain place, there is a lot of elephants just staying there waiting someone to ride them. They look sad, tired, and they don't look healthy. So you see them, they just took care of them, they just give them bath, and the nice thing about the elephant, that's what I think, there's a lot of emotions that you can see through their eyes, right? That's what I see, that's what I believe. So I think this looks relaxed and easy,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They look even. I see that one, the big one. He just like he looks like smiling.
So this guy is just watching them. So this thing I like about Malaysia.
Okay.
So when they told me that about how they treat elephants, when myself I went to Thailand, I never took a ride on them. Took a ride with an
Okay.
elephant. Yeah, because they told me that. They said I like that how they treat the elephant. So I took it. When someone offered me a ride, I said no. When
Nice.
when my family visited me and all of them took a ride, I said no. Okay, so this is another view of the century. Okay, so this place is when in our ride we go to a place called Tamanigara. So if you ever go to Malaysia, you should go to KLCC. You should go to KLCC, see the city. That's one. Two, you should go to this place. This is called Tamanigara. This is a forest kind of rainforest. If you Google it, then you're gonna see it's been there for millions of years. Yeah, just write Tamanigara and then you can read about it. It's been there for millions of years. Very dense, very beautiful. You can see the nature. You can see the jungle. You have this kind of feeling. It's very similar when you see the Amazon kind of way, kind of nature. When if you saw in some documentaries, maybe the Amazon, the Amazon
Yes.
River, and how dense and how dangerous sometimes. The same thing here. So there's some very weird stories. When the guides take us there, they say you should never go at night there. And when we ask them why, they say there may be some ghosts. So don't go.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I was joking or he was trying to pick us out.
Maybe it's true. Who knows?
I did try it. He said that's the thing. So I said okay, I believe you. I'm from Denmark. Yeah, but the other things he said is very dangerous to walk in because it's very dense and it's very big. You know,
Yes.
it's like in terms of size, it's like cities. It's around the size of Tamanikala is like around cities. You know, they say you should never walk through this jungle because sorry, you may get lost.
Yes.
Completely lost
Right.
because when you want to go to Tamanikala, you have to drive through 50 kilometers into the jungle, and there is like the ways is very zigzag, you know. It's very goes up and down and left and right. Even if you are like you got nausea, you know, when you go through the jungle, you get like because the road is very through the jungle, you know, so it's not that it's very difficult road. One of the most difficult roads that I ever driven into it, you know, because I drove my own car. I rented a car. I drive myself. It's one of the hardest road that I go through. You know, so that's the place. Okay, so here's the view. Okay. So this is what I think was 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, so it's very dense, very
Listen to the
very
sounds of the cracker. I mean, I don't know.
Yes. You would hear that a lot, you know. You would. I mean, one of the guy was a friend of. I mean, I make a friend. He was a friend of mine later on. Unfortunately, I don't have his number. So he used to tell me that the jungle is always different. You know, if you can have a local that can do it, the next day when you look at it, it's something different.
Wow.
Because the plant is always changing. He said that when it's raining, one of the things he told me when it's raining is the hunt time for the animals living there. You know, because you know, for example, the bird. That's the story. You know,
Yes.
the birds are wet, so they cannot fly. So there's animals comes along to eat them, and there's another animals who attack them. So there is like some dynamics that goes through the jungle when it's raining.
And what about the temperature? Is it static all over the year?
Humidity is a very big issue, you know.
But it doesn't get cold, right?
No, it's static. It's the same through all the year long, you know. It's from 28 to 33 Celsius.
With the
you know.
humidity, it will
The
be hot.
humidity is an issue, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, if you would ask me, would I prefer the Iraqi kind of atmosphere, or I don't think atmosphere is right word here. We should say weather. So is Iraqi weather or is the Malaysian weather? Which one is I would prefer? I would totally go with the Malaysian weather because it's the same thing. You get relaxed, and one of the things that I make me going back to the Malaysian culture. But one of the things that you find about the Malaysian are very relaxed. They talk it easy. They move. I mean, they move very slowly. Sometimes we're afraid they will be sleeping. They might get asleep fall asleep when they are walking because they walk very relaxed. This is something I really like about them. And when I talk with them, because we are Iraqis, we are full of energy and we want things to get through right away. And we would talk with them, we want something to get done right away. And they will make us surprised and alarmed, and they asking, okay, so what should I do? That's how they feel when I talk with them. This is like, so back to the weather. This is the relaxed weather. Maybe I think.
No, you are right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes.
It might be that's what leads later on to people to get relaxed. You know?
It affects people. By the way, what is the symbol of Malaysia? Because you remind me of Hawaii.
Yeah.
When I've been there, they also act slow because of the humidity. Because Malaysia is an island, right? Kind of island.
No, they call it. When we have like not 100% island, then we
Semi-island. Yes.
There is
Kind
only
of.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Semi-island. Yeah, the same thing. So humidity there and same temperature, just like Malaysia. People act slow. So their symbol is the turtle because she moves slowly.
Oh, yeah.
So is there a symbol for Malaysia?
Symbol for Malaysia. Symbol for Malaysia. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I can't really remember any symbol, any kind of symbol to represent that.
Yeah. Maybe that works just for the states. Okay, never mind. Because
Yeah,
each
yeah.
state has its own symbol.
Yeah.
For example, in Wyoming, it's very dry
Yeah.
and windy, so the symbol is the horse.
yeah.
Everything goes very fast.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So back to the cultural things. So I'm not sure gonna walk into the politics in Malaysia, but Mahathir Mohamad is who is the leader of the Renaissance of
Okay.
Malaysia. I have to Google this word, by the way. Renaissance. I don't know what was it. Anyway, so Renaissance of the Malaysia, and one of the things that he make it simple for Malaysian people, he wrote a book called The Dilemma of Malaysia, which is he harshly criticized the Malay people.
Okay.
He said they are very lazy people who don't work very hard, and he compared them to the Chinese.
And he's still president?
They still respect him very well, very wide perspective. They had elected him as prime minister again like 2 years ago. Then he quit for some reason I don't know. But back to the story. He write about to write a book, the Malaysian Dilemma, and he criticized saying you are not working very hard, you are not doing your job very elegantly. He said you should see the Chinese, because there is a lot of difference between the Malay and the Chinese.
Yes.